Welcome to Greybush Counterpunch Boxing, guys. I'm your host, Greybush, and today we're going to be talking about an upcoming fight. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitri Bivol. It's going to be a good one. Two fighters, both from Russia, both with extensive amateur careers, hundreds of victories. So what's Beterbiev's record? Beterbiev's got about 20 fights, and they are all by KO. So he's obviously a power puncher. He's coming in for the knockout. Dmitri Bivol is, also not that many fights, only 23 fights, all 23 wins, but only 12 by KO. So Bivol does not have the power of a Beterbiev. So let's take a look at their styles. Beterbiev style, I'd call it it's a blend of Soviet-style boxing, and he's a ruthless, kind of in-your-face, slugger puncher, and he's gonna come forward. He's gonna exert that pressure. He's gonna wear you down. He's gonna go to the body. He's gonna make it a rough affair. He gets a little wild with his punches. He gets out of position, and that's when you're coming in with an aggressive kind of fighter, they can get out of position. So if Bivol can catch him out of position, he could maybe make him pay for a little bit of that recklessness. There was a lot of powerful combinations, and he uses the high guard. He starts off in that Russian bladed stance with his left shoulder forward, but when he comes in and gets close to his opponent, he squares up a lot, and he throws both from the southpaw and the orthodox style. So if he starts orthodox and throws a right, and he throws it with such power, and he steps forward with that right leg, he's going to start fighting from the southpaw and coming back with the left cross, and he could vary from left to right almost step by step, almost kind of like Tyson did. Very aggressive style, very brutal style, a fun style, somebody who produces all knockouts, and he's a fan favorite. So people like Beterbiev a lot. Bivol also fights in that Russian bladed stance. His style is what's called a pendulum style. It's a classic Russian style of fighting, where he's gonna pop in and pop out. He's got a wide stance, but he's on his toes, and he's moving in and out almost constantly. Bivol's always on his toes, moving in and out, punching as he's coming in, and punching as he's coming out. He's not throwing a lot of crazy, sophisticated combinations. It's mostly left, right, and repeat. He's not doubling up on hooks. He's not throwing any uppercuts, and he hardly goes to the body, which is a major problem in my opinion for Bivol going into this fight. Is his lack of focus on the body. A guy like Beterbiev, who's got a pretty good chin. Now, Beterbiev's been rocked a couple times by some less than stellar opponents, but his chin is maintained, and every time he's been knocked down, which is 2 or 3 times, he's popped right back up. So he's got a solid chin. So when you're dealing with a tough dude like Beterbiev, who's got a solid chin, real powerful, and you're not going to go to the body, the question is, how are you going to slow him down? This problem is almost compounded for Dmitri Bivol, because he's not a power puncher. So even if he lands clean to Beterbiev's face, he's not going to knock out Beterbiev. There's just no chance. So don't bet on a knockout for Bivol. That's just not happening. So who's going to win the fight? It's a close one on paper. It's real close to 50-50. You got your Bivol fans, and they think it's going to be easy for Bivol, and you got your Beterbiev fans, and they think the opposite is going to be easy for Beterbiev. I'm not a huge fanboy. I'm not a huge fanboy for either fighter. I respect both fighters. I think they're excellent, but I don't think at the moment either one can even make an argument of being Hall of Fame quality. Beterbiev's got 20 fights, 20 pro fights, 20 knockouts, but he's 40 years old, and I just don't think a fighter with 20 fights can even really make an argument to be a Hall of Fame fighter. There was only one fighter who I actually think ever did that, in fact, with 23 fights to his record, I believe, Salvador Sanchez. Amazing Mexican fighter, featherweight, 126 pounds. I believe he only had 20 somewhat fights, and he is known as one of the greatest featherweight boxers of all time, and he was. I've seen a lot of his fights. He's something else. He's special, and the only reason why he had so few fights is he died at age 23. Maybe I'm getting that 23 number mixed up. He didn't have many fights. He died at 23, I think, in a car accident. Terrifying car accident. By the time he died, by the time he was 23 years old, excuse me, he was an all-time great in his weight division, and perhaps the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. I'd venture to say he's a better fighter than Canelo. But most people would disagree with me there. Anyways, if you got an opinion, let me know in the comments section. So where was I? What was I talking about? Number of fights. Why neither fighter has a solid Hall of Fame claim at the moment. So Bivol also 23 fights. Not many fights for a seasoned pro, you know. Back in the day, old school fighters would have 100, 200 fights. They'd have 20 fights in a year. And I think that made them excellent fighters. I don't think today they're fighting as much as they should be. They're making so much money, though. Why fight so often? So it makes sense. I understand why they're not doing it. I don't think it helps out the sport. I don't think it makes for a better fighter to fight, so few times. Once a year, twice a year. If they get 3 fights in the year, it's we're in for a big. We're treated if we can see one fighter fight 3 times. Anyways, Hall of Fame contention. Hall of Fame. The fighter who wins this fight, Beterbiev or Bivol, if they win it in a spectacular fashion, a stunning unanimous decision or a great KO, and then they go in and beat up Benavidez, who has dibs on the winner of this fight. If they go in and either one beats Benavidez, who's a highly, people look past Benavidez because they say he hasn't fought, enough tough guys, but the fact is he's fought everybody he possibly could. He hasn't backed down from anybody, and I think he's a tremendous talent. I also think he's suffering from not enough fights. He hasn't had enough fights. Hopefully we could see him getting some more fights. But yeah, so Benavidez or Bivol wins this fight, and then the winner goes and beats Benavidez, then sure, they can start to make that argument for Hall of Fame. But at the moment, not quite yet, guys. Neither one is Hall of Fame quality, in my opinion. And if you disagree, leave it in the comments. So, look forward to the fight. Think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a decision fight. It's going to go to the judges' scorecard. I don't see a knockout coming. I see Beterbiev's age and his knee, and combined with Bivol's movement and elusiveness as being a problem for Beterbiev. And I think Bivol's big problem is, he just doesn't have the power to knock out Beterbiev. So you add all that stuff up on paper, and I see a decision. Who's going to win that decision? It's going to be close. Like I said, depends where the fight happens. If the fight happens on the inside, Beterbiev's going to win the fight. He goes to the body. He's the more brutal fighter. He's the stronger fighter. If the fight's on the inside, Beterbiev's going to get the nod. He's going to outpoint him. But by the flip of that same coin, Bivol, he's real nice with his movement. Some people like Tru School Sports, I believe, called him the best pure boxer around. Is he? I disagree. I put Naoya Inoue and Crawford as being better pure boxers. There's probably a couple others, but he's a good pure boxer. And if he's able to keep the fight at range, pop the jab, do a lot of 1-2s, hit him a lot of times, well, he could win on points. If I had to put money on the fight, I don't know. I wouldn't put money on this fight. I just don't know who's gonna win. It can go either way. Let me know who you think is gonna win in the comments. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you come back for more. If you have any suggestions on fights, or how this format is, if you like it, if you don't, let me know. I'm new to this. This is my first video, and I'm just getting used to talking in front of the camera. So hope you enjoyed the video, and come back and check out another one. Okay, so inside information. What's the inside scoop with this fight? Well, the inside scoop with this fight is we got some information from Kate Bivol, Dmitri's, ex-wife. He's got a 25-year-old ex-wife and a kid, and she's come out on video straight bashing Bivol, calling him a deadbeat dad, saying he doesn't take care of his kid, saying he doesn't pay alimony, saying he's abusive. She's calling him every name. She's attacking him for everything. Is it true or not? I don't know. It's really not that interesting to me, his personal life. What's more interesting to me is how he fights. I like to see a fighter with a great personality and a great character, Muhammad Ali's. But the fighters these days, they're just they're not that great in the character department. You don't have Ali's. You don't have these type of dudes anymore. So what did she say, though? She said more than just bashing Bivol. She came out and she said a lot of stuff about his body, about a lot of stuff about him being injured. Some of the things she came out and said, she got some text messages that she sent, apparently. You could see it on your screen right now. And she's talking about a fractured vertebrae in his back. She's talking about operated hands multiple times. She's talking about an elbow injury. She's talking about a knee injury. She's saying his ear is swelling. I guess he can't hear with a swollen ear. The ear has been broken many times, and the cartilage breaks. Happens to wrestlers. They get the cauliflower ear, but it's not something that should be slowing Bivol or any boxer down. So I'm not worried about the injury to the ear. Apparently, she thought it was bad. Broken many times in the ear. Fluid accumulated in the eye. Now, the eye is something different. If he's got eye problems and his eyes are swollen up with fluid, well, if he gets punched in the face by Beterbiev and that eye swells up, it could be a short night. He could get knocked out, knocked down, and beaten up bad. Let's hope that all that stuff isn't true, because we want to see a good fight, right? We don't want to see some injured fighters in the ring. That's no fun for anybody. We want to see the best fight possible. We want to see healthy athletes in the ring. We don't want them to be hurt. We don't want that. We don't like that. So let's hope she's wrong. Let's hope she's lying. Is she lying? Who knows? Don't know her personally. Don't know anyone that knows her personally. But the fact that she's talking about so many different injuries, she could be exaggerating a bit. I'm sure he does have a lot of injuries, though. He's a boxer. He's a professional boxer. These people, they get beat up for a living. They get punched all over the body. They suffer injuries. So could he have all the things that she says? It's very possible. Let's hope not. But if she's telling the truth, I guess it evens it out. No, because Beterbiev, we know he's coming off a knee injury. We know he's 40 years old. So, if both of them are coming in injured, then they should cancel each other out. I don't think any of these things will be definitive. Looking at Bivol's last couple of fights, he sure doesn't look injured. He's mobile. He's moving fine, moving smoothly. And, we saw what he did to Canelo Alvarez, who is looked upon as being the greatest fighter in boxing today. Do I agree with that statement? Absolutely not. I think he's one of the most overrated fighters of all time. But he's a Hall of Fame fighter. He's a superb fighter. He's one of the, he's a top-notch fighter. And Bivol handed his ass to him, beat him by unanimous decision. Didn't get touched really. Punched him 180 times. I think Canelo might have landed 85 punches. So it was a dominant performance. So that's the inside scoop.